The evolution of advertising. What is the secret behind Google's marketing strategy? Advertisements are now all too common in our everyday lives. It's hard to go by through the day without seeing at least one commercial, whether it be on a billboard, a magazine, television, or a web page. Sometimes we just completely hate seeing them, especially when we browse the internet, that we take matters into our own hands and go ahead and install AdBlock. The case is the complete opposite, particularly during a Super Bowl game where on some occasions more attention is given to the advertisements than to the actual game, costing an upwards of $4 million for a 30-second spot and an absurd $8 million for a 60-second spot. The biggest question comes to mind is always, is it worth it? For example, some companies build a reputation that people learn to recognize over time. Take for example this commercial about a Maserati. Instead of just advertising a car and telling about its specifications, instead uses emotions and ties in the brand name briefly, though when people come across the name again, they remember it because of the emotion they felt. If companies play their cards right, then the answer is a definitive yes. In order for a company to be successful, they must be able to analyze consumer feedback and respond to their buying patterns. They can target audiences in multiple ways, from brand name recognition to single product marketing to high quality service showcasing. Advertising was first used to supplement full-page colored magazine ads. It started from a lucrative $30, $50, and even $100 per 1,000 impressions back in 1998. An impression is defined as the display of an ad to a user while viewing a web page. Here's an example of an ad. Traditional means of web advertising include methods such as banner ads, floating ads, skyscraper ads, sidebar ads, and pop-up ads. Though they're still very commonly used today, the profits have dwindled to a measly 30 cents, 50 cents, and $1 per 1,000 impressions. A significant drop. These dwindling prices do a good job of reflecting traditional advertisements' dwindling effectiveness. There was an obvious flaw in this mechanism. There was always a problem of possible fraud, such as multiple refreshes counting as multiple impressions, even despite several precautions to prevent such activities. Here's an auto refresh. As a result, a new form of advertisement adopted by Google has taken over: AdWords. If you've never heard of it, you've definitely used it. It is what primarily runs Google's search engine. AdWords differs from the traditional method in that a company pays for actual clicks and page visits rather than impressions. AdWords work by targeting audiences with specific advertisements geared toward a specific search query. Take for example the blog post we use for this class. There are keywords that we use to distinguish a reading response post from an experiential post. An experiential post could be a TED Talk, and then there could be certain keywords that characterize that TED Talk. So as you can see, the more specific the keywords used, the higher the quality score if you were to, let's say, advertise your blog post to the general public. Quality score is used in conjunction with a bid number, which is how much a company is willing to pay per click. Multiply these two numbers together, and one's ad rank can be calculated. Ad rank is what advertisers use to compete for spots with one another, with the advertiser with the highest rank situated at the top of the search results. It kept the playing field even, as quality score trumped over how much paid per bid. This prevented certain companies from simply buying out the competition by paying for a branded keyword. A component that is not included in the equation for calculating ad rank, but is just as important, is the quality of the advertising and how successful it is at satisfying customers. What makes this form of advertisement unique is that Google becomes more successful with the success of others, as opposed to vice versa. When people use Google's search engine and find what they need with relative ease, they build up a positive reputation. This upstanding reputation is what will translate into profit and revenue. Satisfied customers will generally come back again and again and again because they believe in the reliability of the company. Like in the TED Talk with Simon Sinek, where he talks about the golden circle, he says, Every single organization on the planet knows what they do. Some know how they do it, but very, very few know why they do what they do. The same thing applies to web advertising. Here's a diagram he constructed during his TED Talk. Some ads are completely irrelevant to what a user is currently browsing. They are just there for the sake of being there, in the off chance that their service or product appeals to the user. How do they do it? They do it by annoying the user with screen-sized ads and pop-ups in the hopes that they buy their service or product. Google, on the other hand, works to give their customers convenient search results. How do? They do it by making sure advertisers that rank top in various search queries offer quality and relevant information. What you're left with is a company that values progress as a community rather than independently. This methodology and ideology is a testament to Google's success. Take, for example, YouTube, when it was bought out by Google back in 2006 for $1.65 billion. YouTube was founded in 2005 by a ragtag of 3 PayPal employees from various backgrounds in design and computer science. It became one of the fastest growing sites just months after its creation, and Google saw its potential. Google responded in a constructive way by saying, "You guys have a brilliant thing going on here. Let us help you help us improve on this idea to make it something even more." So here's the original YouTube logo. Google and YouTube will continue to become successful because of the standards that they center their ideals of advertising around. They cater to the individual and personal needs of their customers. You will never see the same YouTube homepage as another, as the suggestions are unique to the user based on data collected about them. Time and time again, we will see changes in medium of advertising. There is always that hidden message or automatic connection with most people that they learn to associate themselves with. Is this a commercial about Bridgestone tires, or actually a message telling drivers not to swerve for squirrels on the road for the sake of the driver's safety? And that is my presentation. And here are my sources for the picture. Here are my sources for the information that I looked up.